stop number 5 of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. The American Pro Snowboard Series starts its East Coast leg in Vermont with 2 exciting disciplines. We've got the high-speed alpine racing of the Super G, where each racer is given just 1 shot at the course, and the always electric half-pipe competition featuring some red-hot local talent. It's the American Pro Snowboard Series right here on ESPN. Everybody, and welcome to a very chilly Okemo, Vermont for the 5th stop of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Todd Harris along with Lee Crane and Lee. We are in the second half of the tour, the East Coast leg, and very chilly temperatures.
It was below freezing when we got up this morning, exactly 5 below 0, which means the snow is going to be very firm. That'll mean a really fast Super G course, and it'll mean the half pipe will hold up well. The half pipe here at Okemo, though, is smaller. It's not as much vertical. In fact, some of the riders say there's no vertical, which means the riders won't be getting as much air, according to them. I saw them in practice, and it looked like quite a bit of air.
All right, let's talk about the competitors. A lot of the East Coast riders turning out for today's event.
You know, the biggest disappointment in the preliminary rounds was that Todd Richards didn't even make it into the second qualifying run. He fell in the first qualifying run, wasn't able even to make it in to get in. So we've got Jamil Khan doing extremely well in the preliminary rounds, as well as Vince Jorgensen. So the local boys really doing well.
All right, before we get to the final runs in the half-pipe competition, let's have a look at some preliminary highlights. The half-pipe here at Okemo is 420 feet long and is maintained by the mountain's expert grooming crew. After several rounds of qualifying, 16 men won the right to compete in the final. Here they are being ranked on a combination of their first and second scores.
Currently in 5th position is Blair Rusin of Williamsville, New York, who racked up a total of 53.7 points for his first 2 runs. Shane Charlebois of Orchard Park, New York, is in 4th place with a combined score of 54.50 points.
Frank Wells, a regular finalist on the American Pro Snowboard Series, is in 3rd after 2 great runs that earned him 54.60 points. Finnish competitor Jonas Alaya is currently holding on to the 2nd place position after putting together 2 technically difficult runs to earn 54.90 points.
But the man to beat on top of it all, Ian Spiro of Killington, Vermont. Ian impressed the judges with amplitude and trick variation to earn an incredible 55 points on his first 2 runs.
That leaves us with 5 riders to go, and we'll return with their runs right after this.
Spin as much as you
Hurry up and
could.
spin, because if you want to win, you got to spin.
He's out there.
My name's Carabeth Burnside. I ride for Burton Snowboards and Black Fly Sunglasses. And I'm just here competing in this pipe. It's going to be pretty good. They did a good job on the pipe here today. It looks really good. It's snowing, but the visibility is really good. So I think it's going to be good and fun. Just going to try to stay on and do well. We're going to have a great day here today, so stay tuned to the Snow Zone.
Is a half pipe. And a half pipe is a U-shaped piece of snow. Basically, it's a kind of like a couloir that's a little flatter. The riders ride down this half pipe and go off the walls, front side and back side. And there they do lip tricks, hand plants, aerials, spins, flips, you know, whatever. And they stay in the half pipe and they get up to sometimes 14, 15 hits. The things you tend to look for is amplitude, be in big air, the variety they can pull off, the lip tricks, spinny tricks, different grabs on your board, tweaking different ways, and then there's fluidity and overall impression. And that's what the half pipe's about. It's freestyle.
Bush, Vermont, and the sixth stop of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Top competitors from the U.S. and Canada have come to participate in the domestic snowboard tour, which features both alpine and freestyle venues. It's the American Pro Snowboard Series, which means snowboarding at its best, and it's right here on ESPN. Hello and welcome to Sugarbush, Vermont for stop number 6 of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Todd Harris along with Lee Crane, and today we've got 2 disciplines for you, one freestyle and one alpine.
We have the standard alpine event, the giant slalom. We've been seeing that all season. What we haven't seen so far this year is the slopestyle, and we're going to see that today. The slopestyle is a freestyle event that takes the air and the tricks of the halfpipe, puts it down on a run with jumps, slider bars, and lets the riders see who can do the best tricks.
Let's talk a little bit about our competition that we have at Sugarbush today.
Well, because we haven't seen any of the slopestyle events so far on the tour, we don't really know who's going to do well, but we have to look at Jamil Khan. He did really well last weekend in the Okemo halfpipe, and also Ian Spiro.
All right, we've got some great riders also in the giant slalom competition. Very fast snow. The name you want to think of, obviously, Mark Fawcett.
Mark Fawcett's been dominating the alpine events this year on the tour. He's been doing okay in the freestyle, but the alpine is where he shreds. So Mark Fawcett we want to look for, but we also remember we've got all the guys, J.C. Anderson, Thomas O'Brien, and they're ready to win.
All right, before we get to the final runs of the slopestyle competition, we want to have a look at some preliminary highlights. In the slopestyle competition, each competitor will take 3 runs. Each rider's 2 highest scores will be combined to give a total. The highest total will win. Most of the competitors have already completed their runs, starting with 6-year-old Team Aggression rider Daniel Schurmeyer, whose main goal, it seems, was to impress the cameras. We were impressed. Some other riders fared better, and some fared worse. By the end of the second run, the cream had risen to the top, and at this point in the competition, these are our standings. Blair Rusin, followed by Novak, Spiro, Carlson, and Jamil Khan. The top 6 competitors have yet to take their 3rd run, and things are bound to change. Stay with us for the slopestyle action on ESPN. The American Pro Snowboard Series is brought to you by Paul Mitchell, Professional Salon Products. Welcome back to Sugarbush, Vermont, and ESPN's coverage of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Todd Harris along with Lee Crane with 6 competitors to go in the slopestyle competition. Here are our current standings. It's Rusin, followed by Novak, Spiro, Carlson, and Khan. Next competitor lead, Tim Carlson from Burlington, Vermont.
Tim got a 27.9 on his first run, a 28.0 on his second run. But he's got one more. He gets to take the top 2, as all competitors do, the top 2 scores for the final. One gets thrown out, no problem.
And Tim Carlson talked a little bit about the conditions these riders face here, living on the East Coast and competing in the Sugarbush, Vermont slopestyle competition.
Well, the conditions are pretty good here, it's kind of hard. The landings are flat, but now you got to pay the price for the big bucks.
We'll see if Tim Carlson has what it takes to pay the price to get those big bucks as he slows down a little coming into the first little kicker. Busts a nice tail grab, a little bit of a flat landing. You can see his board slapping down. He reverts, does a nice little manual.
180 in the big area.
Grabs lean to 180, reverts out of it, sets up for a nose roller and goes right through the outdoor. Welcome to the outdoor, Tim.
So Tim Carlson takes a unplanned visit to the great outdoors. He is back on course now.
Tim goes up, does a nice board slide on the rail, pulls a tail grab late 180, gets that last hit, a nice front side 360. Drifts it around nicely.
So Tim Carlson puts together a pretty decent run other than his visit to the Outdoor Products banner. And here you have a look at it again, Lee.
Todd, he needs a 29.3 to take the lead. We're going to see what the judges give him. And it is a 27.10 for Tim Carlson. That's not enough. That's going to leave him right there in 4th place. It could have been this little nice outdoor entry that he did halfway down.
All right, so he will stay in 4th place. Next up, Chris Novak from Harwington, Connecticut.
Chris is currently in 2nd place with a total of 57.1. We saw him on that first run. A nice 50-50 slide set him up for a booster 360. He likes to throw in the variety of tricks.
Yeah, definitely trying something different than the person before it. So it gives a variety to the judges, so they really notice you more.
And he'll definitely want to do something different than Tim Carlson, especially staying out of the banners.
See him doing a little floppy doodle spin tricks in the top. Coming in fakie, does a nice fakie to fakie 360, reverts out of it, comes up the wall to get a little speed for the next kicker. Chris busts a nice mute stiffy into a nose roll. Back fakie, bouncing around all over. Looks a little like Nancy Kerrigan out on the ice, doesn't he? Busts a nice 5-0 grind. 360, that was going fakie to fakie again. The judge is looking for a lot of those tricks. There was a nose poker 180, and he's off through the finish.
All right, so Chris Novak needed a 28.0 to take the lead. Do you think this run got it for him?
You know, he had some nice moves. He had that nice mute stiffy off the first hit, a nice 50-50 grind down the rail, and the judges give him a 26.80.
All right, so he will stay in the same position. Chris Novak will stay in 2nd place. While we have a break in the action, let's have a look at our host resort. Sugarbush is actually 2 resorts blended into one, featuring the 3 highest skiable peaks in the east with over 110 trails and over 400 acres of varied terrain. Intensive snowmaking stretches winter into a 6-month season from early November to early May. Strategically placed facilities take care of usual needs through the day. Sugarbush Ski School is nationally acclaimed with special programs for women, children, and of course, snowboarding, as well as weekly racing clinics. Of special interest to us is Fat Bob's Snowboard Park, the largest snowboard park in the East, home of today's competition, Stop 6 of the American Pro Snowboard Series. We'll be back with more slopestyle in just a moment. Sunny Sugarbush, Vermont, stop number 6 of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Todd Harris along with Lee Crane, and right now here are our standings in the slopestyle competition. It's Rusin, Novak, Spiro, Carlson, and Kahn, and next up, Randy Gaetano from Essex, Vermont.
We're going to see if Randy can pull himself right up out of the gutter. He's currently in 6th place with a score of 54.3. On his first run, he got a 28.2. On his second run, a 26.1. We asked him how slopestyle differs from competing in the half pipe.
Because you can just put your creativity into it, and there's not just one certain wall, and there's like less stress, I think, too, because everyone's just relaxed and riding.
Well, we'll see if Randy can stay relaxed on his way down, dropping into that first hit fakie, see what he's going to throw up. He does a nice mute 180 coming out forward. A surf-style slider. A nice method air. Comes into the banker, goes switch stance, slides nose, tail, and on out fakie, reverting straight up for the final slider bar. He misses it. I think he wanted a tail bonk on that. Sets up a nice late 180 over the gap and pulls a melancholy. Barely pulls it out as he rolls out of the judge's view.
All right, so Randy was looking for a 29.1 in lead. Do you think this run was good enough? He got it going right away.
He got it going. The judges must have noticed something. They gave him a 27.9. That means he's going to move up 2 spots into 4th. But I don't think it's exactly what he wanted. He probably was gunning for 1st place.
While we have a break in our freestyle competition, the slopestyle competition, we want to shift gears and show you highlights from the Super G.
We have a really straight course here at Sugarbush. That means extremely high speeds. The riders breaking out some of their long boards. Some of the boards the guys are riding up to 200 centimeters long. That means the winners are going to be going really fast. The losers going to be having some problems.
All right, let's have a look at our Super G highlight. On the ruts or the icy base or sun in your eyes, whatever. But the fact is that the Super G here was tricky. Icy conditions softened, making for an inconsistent surface.
Thomas placed 3rd in the Super G last week at Okemo, Vermont, and seemed to carry the momentum into this weekend.
It's pretty smooth when I ran. I had a good course up there.
and I had a pretty solid run. I didn't have many mistakes at all. Just solid and smooth.
Talk a little about your competition out here. With you got Fawcett and J.C. Anderson, Jones, and Hoster, some of these guys. Does it help you as far as your riding goes, push you, get a little more aggressive? And that's obviously what you needed out here today.
Yeah, definitely. I think the level of competition is pretty high in this tour, and it helps out a lot. I think gets you going just that little step extra.
That one step extra has landed Thomas O'Brien one step higher on the podium. O'Brien was followed by Anderson, Fawcett, Jones, and Jeff Archibald taking fifth. When we return, it's back to slope style. Our early round leader is up next. Back to Sugarbush, Vermont. Snowboarding has exploded on the slopes of America and is easily holding the distinction of being the fastest growing winter sport on the planet. Talking with those in the thick of things, the reason is simple.
Snowboarding is just a fun sport. I mean, the G-forces that you get going into turns is unbelievable, whether it's riding in powder or riding hard pack on an alpine setup. It really has, it's so diverse that it must make everybody feel good, you know? You just have to get out there and try it, and once you get comfortable on a snowboard, it's endless what you can do on one.
Well, John Paul Mitchell Systems got involved in snowboarding several years ago. We saw that it had the opportunity to give a lot of kids something else to do other than be on the streets, and something that's really theirs. And we feel that it is a great sport for Americans. It's a great way for the youth of America to really express themselves. But more important, I now see people my age on these snowboards shooting all over the place, and I think it's a wonderful and a fabulous sport.
It's grown for good reason. It's a sensation that people can really relate to, just about anybody. It's really fun. I mean, I don't want to slam skiing because skiing is a great sport. I did it for a long time, but you just can't compare the sensations. There's no way.
I think it's pretty obvious that snowboarding is here to stay. We just hope that everyone involved, skiers and snowboarders, can use their heads and enjoy the slopes together. And we are back to slope-style competition. Our current standings look like this. Rusin, Novak, Spiro, Gaetano, and Tim Carlson. Next up, it will be Blair Rusin. He is our current leader, Lee, holding a score of 57.2, and Blair comes to us from Williamsville, New York. Blair, Rubberface Rusin. A lot of guys on the tour say that he is Jim Carrey impersonating a snowboarder. He had a 57.2 total, making him, of course, the current leader. Blair's ridden on both coasts, but he likes it here in the East.
Well, fortunately, I've got to ride both places, so I like to say that East is excellent, and it makes you a little more confident in your landings. When you go out to the West, you got that soft snow, and everything works out a lot better than if you fall at the East.
Well, we are back at the East Ice Coast, you may want to call it, and Blair Rusin is ready to take his third run.
These local guys really do have an advantage because they're used to landing on this slappy, hard boilerplate. And Blair busts a 540 off the first hit. Coming out fake, he busted around a late backside 180. A nice method, goes for the double grab, misses the second half of it, rolls around, goes into a tail slide, into a 360 nose roll.
Front side for the crowd, a little different.
A little 5-0 manual, skips the slider bar so he can get a lot of speed for the gap jump, pulls off a nice 360. See what he's got for the last trick, and it is a late 180 with a front side grab.
Let's go back and have a look at Blair Rusin's run. A lot of tricks from there, Lee, and a lot of different things we haven't seen from the other riders.
Blair decided to skip the slider bar, but he pulled out a nice 540. The judges giving him a 30.1. That's the highest score of the whole contest. That means it's moving him even further out in front with a 59.1.
We've got two competitors to go. Next up, it will be Ian Spiro from Killington, Vermont. Another one of these East Coast riders, used to riding the hard slab, and he is currently sitting in third position, but he knows what he needs to win.
I noticed that the judges really weren't scoring too well, spinning off every jump. I tried that my first run, and this last run I ended up with the highest scoring run, just spinning off the first, straight off the second, straight off the third, and spinning off the fourth, kind of alternating. That seemed to work out a lot better, so I guess I'm going to stick with that run, and we'll see what happens in the finals.
The judges obviously going for the ice dancing scoring method. Mix it up, throw in a couple sow cows, maybe a spin or two. We'll see how Ian lines up on the first hit. He does a nice grab 360, throws a little poke in. Tail slide slows down for the next one. A nice method air.
Nice method air.
Comes into a tail slide 360, works it around, does another little ice dancer spinner. Gets into the rail, does a nice 50-50 down the rail.
Frontside poke off the gap, sets up for the last hit, and throws a 540. So Ian Spiro from Killington, Vermont puts in a very clean run with lots of tricks. He needed a 29.9, but it isn't enough. The judges give him a 27.8. That puts him in a tie for second. With one rider to go, it's Rusin, Novak, Spiro, Gaetano, and Carlson. In the women's event, 4 competitors battled for the title. Going big was Kathy Byrne from Castleton, Vermont. Jamil Khan from Gloversville, New York, Lee, and this is one guy who can really go off. Jamil is used to these tip slap in hard ice conditions. Currently he's in 6th place with a total of 55.2. He did pretty well on his first 2 runs, pretty consistent. He got a 27.5 on the first run and a 27.7 on his second run, so he's gonna have to turn the volume up a little if he wants to take this thing. Jamil Khan riding for Team Burton needs a 31.5 for the lead. Let's see if he can do it. He sets up into that first little kicker and does a nice little 180. Comes in fakey to the slider wall. Switches back around, going forward. Does a nice double grab. He grabs the front side air into a nice method. Toe slides around 360, a little ice dancing. See if he can stay inside the rink. He goes for the slider bar, but clears the whole thing. Doesn't even get his board down. Does a nice 360 over the gap. Reverts into switch stance and does a wicked blind 180 off the final jump. Jamil Khan looking for that 31.5 from our judges' lead. Was it good enough? He mixed up the tricks, got a nice double grab going right here, the front side to the method, and the judges give him a 28.2. Not enough. That means he's going to tie up with Tim Carlson for 5th place with a total of 55.9. There you see our unofficial results. It's Rusin with Novak and Spiro tying for 2nd. Gaetano, Carlson, and Khan tying for 5th. We'll talk to our champion right after this. Brought to you by Outdoor Products, backpacks made right here in the USA. Welcome back to Sugarbush, Vermont, and the conclusion of stop number 6 of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. Todd Harris along with Lee Crane, and just moments ago we passed out the awards. Winning the women's competition, it was Jamie McLeod. She put it all together for 3 clean runs and took home top honors. She was followed by Mary Beth Zambrano, Kim Stanecki, and Kathy Byrne. Jamie revealed her winning formula.
Just get a clean run going through. You know, like I didn't do anything too spectacular, but I landed most of everything.
And in the men's division with 3 incredible runs, including the highest single run of the contest, it was Blair Rusin on top of the heap, taking all the money and grabbing the cash and dashing. Behind him, tied for 2nd, it was Novak and Spiro, in 4th, Gaetano, tied for 5th, Carlson and Khan. Todd Harris is with our winner. Thank you, Lee. I've got the man of the hour, Blair Rusin, Buffalo, New York, takes home the top prize here at the Sugarbush Slopestyle. Blair, talk a little about the course and what you pulled off.
Well, I had a wonderful time. The course consisted of a lot of bigger jumps and some slides here and there, and a gap jump. So just went out and had a good time, and it looks like everyone else did too.
Now, did you know what the judges were looking for after your first 2 runs?
I knew they wanted to see some everyone landing their tricks and some smooth airs, so I just kind of put it together as best I could.
All right, congratulations. That will do it from stop number 6 of the American Pro Snowboard Series presented by Paul Mitchell. We hope you've enjoyed all the action, and congratulations to all of our champions. Next stop, stop number 7, Vail, Colorado. Check your local listings. So for Lee Crane, Blair Rusin, I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you next time right here on ESPN. Hotel accommodations provided by the Sugarbush Inn.
It's AD's Jeep. This is the garage setup here. That's Lori's car. She's here with Shane. That's my wagon. Good morning, Blair.
It's 9 o'clock this morning on a Saturday. Here we are in Burlington, Vermont. This is my car. This is where we park. My little parking lot. And this is my house who needs a paint job. I'll take you inside. You want to come? Come on.
All right.
Slightly messy right now because I'm painting the bathroom and kitchen.
It's just like Bob Vila, isn't it?
I know. This is my home. Bob Vila's home. Home improvement.
Well, there's the beer.
We got the wicker Kyle's cabinets. As you can see, the framework is very nicely done. Whoa.
There's painting.
Let me take you to the bathroom. Here is our bathroom. This is what the bathroom looks like. It's kind of small.
Here's the bathroom. There's Blair sitting on the john.
Okay. Out of the bathroom. Boring.
Okay.
This is the kitchen. This is where I actually cook my food, yes? I do cook my food. I actually do. I know how to cook pasta, spaghetti.
Cook our food, Blair.
Well, I don't really cook for everyone else but me because no one would eat my food.
Here's the sink. Here's Blair's dishes.
This is how we dry our laundry right here. We have a washing machine downstairs and we dry our laundry on these racks in front of the heater and the fan circulates the heat and it dries pretty good.
Okay.
So this is where I do all my drawings, right here.
Doing the table. I'm trying to move back here because there you go. Okay, I got you. Nice. Hey, all right.
This is where you can heat this up on cold days. This is a nice little thing, huh? Kind of cute.
Yeah, neat. That's great.
Okay.
All right, where are we going? We're going inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, gonna be on film.
This is my roommate, Ari.
Hey Ari.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Hungry enough to work in just
Actually,
5 minutes.
say hi to Gina because she's going to be watching this, so she's going to.
Oh, hey Gina. Nice talking to you, Gina.
Hi Ari.
Yeah.
Hey D, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well.
Sitting and eating.
That's right. Getting ready.
Okay.
They,
Getting ready for the big one, huh?
that's right.
Okay, B.
I should be careful. Come on in.
All right.
I should be careful what I say on camera. I don't want to incriminate someone.
Because we're recording here, right?
This is the office.
The altar as well.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah. That was the altar. This whole thing was the chapel. This room was built.
Used to be an
Take a
altar.
look at the outside.
We're in a church. Whoops.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. You're gonna go in there, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, we're going to take one there. I'm going to show you the church.
All right. The cheap church, right? See you later, guys.
See ya. Have fun.
Used to be a church.
Okay, close that.
This is where we used to have, this is where people used to pray.
This is the church
This is
here.
all stained glass windows.
I don't know if you can see that.
This is what happens when you don't listen to us.
You get your arms busted.
This is our snowboard press.
A snowboard press?
One of the biggest snowboarders.
Oh yeah. What is he, bending it or what?
He's making a press. He's making all those shapes. And then he's going to put it together and put it all on top and press the board.
Oh really? He's actually making a snowboard?
He's upstairs.
He's in upstairs. What a nice space in here, bro.
Isn't it?
Is he gonna live in here or? Whose mast is it? Whose sailboat? Walk up there.
That's art.
We're going. Here's the.
It's steep. It's kind of steep, so be careful.
This is up to Blair.
An arm length wide. And it's angled here. But there's two rooms that go off it, and this is my room right here.
Hey, there's Blair.
It's
Hey.
kind of packed up. And it's all packed up, but this is where I sleep.
That's where he sleeps. Crazy.
These are all my clothes packed up.
Okay, we'll get in here and we'll shoot that. Neat door, huh? I like that door. Okay. And there's Blair's closet. And there's his clothes.
D's or C's every day when he goes somewhere. And it's going to the right. And this is where he lives, right here. Why don't you go over and stand by the sign there, D? If you like it or not? Huh?